Good morning. Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. Today's sponsor is Don't Do Business with Allstate. These people absolutely have zero clue as to what's going on. So they refused to pay for my roof, and they put me through quite possibly the worst experience I've ever had with any insurance claim. It's the only insurance claim I ever had with my house, but auto claims and stuff before I never had an issue with. But and then watching the senator give the Allstate representatives what for, that kind of summed up my year last year. You know, these people are horrible.
The local agent ghosted you.
And the local agent ghosted me. Allstate, you're the worst. If there was a level that was less than the worst, that's where you're at. All you want to do is collect your annual fees, and you don't want to pay out. Well, you no longer have me as a customer. 21-year customer left. Just done. And I would encourage everybody to leave as well. So I have switched everything. My cars, motorcycles, house. I'm not going to talk about the new company because I have had zero experience with them, although I think that M has friends who have used them and said that they are awesome for motorcycle insurance. Is that right?
Wreck in the morning, have a check in the afternoon.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah, Allstate, and then they send me a mailer. This is just a money grab. That's all it is. It's just a money grab. And they're talking about how much money they can save me. Well, no. Really, it's not any savings at all.
When you don't pay your claims.
That's it. If you don't pay your claims, you're not saving anybody any money. You're just, you know what you are? You're a tax. Don't pay the Allstate tax.
It's called theft.
Well, yeah, that's what taxation is, theft. So don't pay the Allstate tax. Don't let them steal your money. They're not going to pay for your roof when you need one. Okay, let's put that aside. Take another little sip of coffee and get another little restart here. Watched or rather listened to a podcast recently. It took me quite a long time to listen to it. Jordan Peterson's take on Snow White. Well, there's a couple things. Number one, it's topical, so Jordan Peterson's going to do it. That's just where he is. He's in that universe of topical subjects. That's what he does. And I didn't realize that Snow White, the new movie, was a topic of discussion I'm not keeping up with those kind of current cultural situations. I don't go to the movie very often. And how long has it been since we went to the movies? A couple years?
I don't know, yeah.
Wow. Anyway, it's not something that I normally do, and I didn't realize that this was a thing. But evidently the new Snow White that Disney came out with is
Snow woke.
Snow woke. I didn't know that was a thing. Where did you hear that?
I think South Park.
South Park. Anyway, they changed it. Evidently, they completely made it different. I guess they kept the title.
That's about it.
That's all. Just the title. I don't care what you do with your company. I don't care what you do with your money. I don't care if you have the rights to a to a writing or a movie, do whatever the heck you want with it. It's none of my business. However, in doing so, you definitely open yourself up to criticism. Amazingly, there was very little criticism of the movie in Jordan Peterson's podcast. Amazingly, there was a lot more depth given to Snow White than I thought there was. And I believe there was more depth there than you thought there was as well, right?
Right. Yeah, plus it's the Brothers Grimm's version, so
It was the original.
with the eating of the liver and the lungs.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The Brother Grimm's had some very dark... Did they write Sleeping Beauty?
No, fairy tales. No, I think they just collected them. They didn't write them themselves.
They just
They
put them down to
collected-
paper?
I think what he said was that back in the, when was it, in the 1860s, something like that, to 1890s. Anyway, they were afraid that Germans were going to lose some of their heritage as far as those folk tales and stuff go.
Yeah.
So they started collecting them. And they put them all in a book and published that. They're not their stories. They're
Right.
just folk tales and stuff, and fairy tales.
I wonder... I know
were
that,
not like they are now. They were meant to scare children.
I know that Sleeping Beauty, it had some very horrific scenes in it. And I just wondered if maybe they didn't put that down as well. I'm not sure who
No,
wrote
there was
Sleeping
none of
Beauty.
that in this one. I don't know about
Well, no, Sleeping Beauty is a
Sleeping
different...
Beauty, about the...
It's a different tale. It's a different story.
Right, I know.
It has some similarities to Snow White, but no, I was wondering if... who are they? The Brothers Grimm? Mm-hmm. I wonder if they put that down as well, if that was one of the ones that they
I think so,
put
yeah.
to paper.
I'm not sure.
But it was very dark. How the prince woke up the princess in Sleeping Beauty was...
Yeah, I don't know if that is the original or if that is
I don't
some
know
kind
either.
of
Anyway,
thing some pervert made up.
I'm sure that Dr. Peterson instilled his points of view into the Snow White that he read. He read the version from the Brothers Grimm, but I'm sure that we all put spin on the fairy tales, but just listening to him explain how he viewed it, and perhaps how the original authors may have at least slanted it in that direction, I found that very interesting. I would love to hear him do The Boy Who Cried Wolf in the context of today's...
Didn't he mention that he enjoyed doing that and he might do some other fairy tales?
I hope so. I mean,
That's what he said.
that was very
The whole
enlightening.
looking through the lens of, he's a clinical psychologist, right? So
Yes,
looking through
he's a
that
clinical
lens,
psychologist.
and then all of the other fields that he has so much knowledge of, because all these disciplines
Well,
are kind of intertwined. So
I mean, he went through the, for lack of a better term, the woke grinder. They put him through the ringer. So just his experience alone in that field, and how he's interpreting and looking at these stories, I'd love to hear his take on The Boy Who Cried Wolf. That would just be... I can see where he could interpret some of the things in that story and apply them to today's situations and culture.
well, these stories are supposed to be the ones that survive have a universal appeal to them, because they hit at the core of human existence, I guess, that is culturally more or less applicable to the human existence no matter where you're from.
Yeah.
So them rewriting that, to me, it would have been better if you had just made a new story. If you wanted to cram your political ideology down everybody's throat, because now it's not a story that's universally applicable anymore.
No.
Now it's not a story that brings us together, that unites
it's
us in some way, right?
It's
Because
pushing your agenda.
culture is shared stories, right?
Right.
That's what he said. That is.
So now they took the story and they pushed their agenda with the story.
Right. So,
Yeah.
and why would, you can't be mad if
No,
you
I'm
do
not.
that and then people rip you so hard.
Well, it flopped also at the box office.
Oh, yeah, of course it did.
I mean,
Nobody watches this shit. There is a lot
there's
less
the
of
curse
them.
word today. We have to mark this episode as adult only.
Well, hell.
There's two.
Hell is not a curse word. Hell is a place.
Then why do they say H-E?
I don't know why they say that. I always found that silly.
Yeah. Anyway, Jordan Peterson's podcast on Snow White, and then I didn't even realize it, but after I watched it, I recommended it to Em, and evidently while she was doing chores around the house, she was listening to it, and I just realized that it has gone viral in a big way. It's an interesting podcast. I would encourage everybody to listen to it, left and right.
Yep.
I think the left will hate it. I think the right will love it. I think that us independents, us in the middle, can see it for what it truly is, which is I think that it is a very good explanation of a age-old fairy tale.
I mean, there's some things I think where I was like, I don't know if I agree with that. I'm not sure. I never really thought about the story that way. The story as a child, the way I understood it, I guess that never changed. Because, fairy tales are for children.
Yeah.
When you read them to your kids as adults, you don't really think about it. They enjoy them. They make their own minds up as children what it means to them.
Yes.
Just like I did. And I think maybe he tried to go that deep because he kept saying the patriarch, he kept using the word patriarchy. And I'm thinking he must either say it that way for a reason, or I really never understood that, because to me the patriarchy is a woke term. When I hear somebody using that term, I already know, use two more, like my truth or something else, and then I'm done talking with you because you are really not interested in discussion. You're interested in cramming your ideology down my throat.
Well, I think they can use that word, or anybody can use that word in discussion, and
Right, but it's just the way he worded it, and maybe it's because of what they did to the, how they rewrote the movie, the story.
Well, even
And maybe
the original.
maybe he was doing that on purpose to kind of tell them what the word. I mean, there's a matriarchy too.
The original movie also had a lot of rewrites in it, obviously. Have you ever seen the original Disney cartoon?
A long time ago, but
Yeah,
I was
but
already
it
an
was-
adult.
Yeah, it was also a rewrite, but I think it preserved the original values and context of the original writing. I think that it did preserve that in the original movie that Disney put out.
Yeah.
Disney has a very dark history as well. It's not like Disney's hands are clean. Far from it.
Well, let's see here. There's so many things.
This goes also points to my podcast 2 days ago about the guy that was, saying we don't want anybody from the right on the left. Okay, well, if that's your
Sports,
attitude,
that's why I don't participate anymore. Nothing changes, and
if that's your attitude, you need to boycott Disney because of its history.
Back and forth.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Well, no, actually not. I mean, now the left is hating Jews too, so it's. I thought they were all inclusive and stuff, except for the Jews.
I think we have to be very careful of not falling into the trap that the left is falling into, and the right is falling into as well.
What trap?
The trap that the people on the left who are saying, "Stop the war," hate Jews. I don't think that's what it is. I think that the people on the left want the war to stop. I think the people on the right would like the war to stop.
Shouldn't everybody like a war to stop?
Yes.
It's preferable not to start one, but
my point is that the people on the left don't hate Jews. They want the war to stop. And in that context, now look, the left.
context was Walt Disney, and he hated Jews.
He did hate Jews, and
I refuse to use the word anti-Semite anymore because that was a racist term made up by a Jew hater to make the word Jew hater a little bit classier.
Yes.
So it's not anti-Semitism; it is Jew hatred.
How about Zionist?
Well, there's the political Zionists, and then there's...
What's political Zionist?
Oh gosh, I don't even... The political Zionist is what's going on now.
Yeah.
And then there's a Zionism that is rooted in the Torah. So there's some Jews that believe that Israel is illegitimate because some portions of the prophecy haven't been fulfilled yet, so you can't take the land before God gives it to you. It was promised to you, but there's certain things that need to be... So there's a bunch of Jews who are anti-Zionist because of that. So
well, that would be a topic for a different discussion.
Oh yeah, and I don't even... It is so complex.
Anyway,
I don't...
To bring it back to the original topic, listen to Jordan Peterson's podcast. I really enjoyed it. Whether you like Peterson or not, his take on, I almost said Cinderella, his take on Sleeping Beauty, I think it's worth at least...
Sleeping Beauty?
Huh? I'm sorry, on Snow White. I'm confabulating all of these princess movies. The Peterson's take on Snow White is definitely worth a listen to. Whether you agree with Peterson or not, the information he's providing it's valuable. I enjoyed it. It was good. I think that he should do a whole series on these stories, on the rewriting of stories. They say that the victor writes the history.
Yeah.
I think in this case what's happening is they're using history to become the victor. They're rewriting things so that, not just fairy tales, but history in general. One of the things I wanted to talk about this morning was the idea that, I'll save that for another day. I think we're going to wrap this one up. You got anything else you want to throw in there?
I wasn't aware I was being thrown into it to begin with.
I snuck over this morning and I put a microphone on her lapel.
So now I feel obligated.
Well, she tends to, when she's on the couch and I'm doing my podcast, she tends to yell out things. One of my buddies at work listens to the podcast, and Paul, he says every once in a while he screams at me, "You're wrong!" Because she said that from the couch once, and it was articulated so well over the podcast that now it's just a thing when he catches me.
I was sitting on the stairs.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I
See,
don't talk on the couch.
you weren't sitting on the couch.
I yell from the stairs.
You weren't sitting on the couch. You were sitting on the stairs. So I was wrong.
You were wrong.
So, but I love it when Em is on the podcast. Now I'm going to go have some coffee with the wife because that's what life's about, family. I probably won't do well, I might. We have guests coming down and we're going to have to deal with some technical problems she's having with one
You
of her.
can do a TikTok with my daughter.
I'm not doing a TikTok, but we may do a podcast. I think I'd like to do a podcast about religion with Jackie. We'll see. We'll see if she'll go for it or not. I'm not. I try not to be confrontational, but that can be very contested. At any rate, I hope you have a great Thursday. And if I don't see you again before Monday, or I don't put out another podcast until Monday, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope that you have a 3-day weekend. I really do. And I wish you all the best and a happy Independence Day. I was going to talk about Independence Day, but Em was up, so we had a different discussion.
We're going to still talk about Independence Day.
No, I think I may save that for an early morning podcast tomorrow when everybody's sleeping in because they had to cook all day.
It is early morning. What are you talking about?
Tomorrow, early morning.
Huh.
I hope you have a fantastic Thursday and a great weekend. Until next time, I hope you find peace, love, and dream.
Bye.
Oh no, come on with the Hebrew.
I'm doing Hebrew today. Ciao.